Hi there, I'm your kettlebell coach Emma and welcome to my page. Today I'm going to show you how to do a really badass kettlebell complex where we do a single leg hang clean into a front lunge, into a Viking salute, and finish off with some swings. But that was a mouthful and maybe you don't even know what any of it meant. And I totally get that. So in addition to showing you what the complex looks like today, I'm going to show you how to actually break it down, and we're going to learn the first half of the complex. I'm saving the second half of the complex for another video. So today we're just going to focus on the single leg hang clean to forward lunge. There's so much you can do and we're going to make a whole workout out of it. But first, like this video, subscribe to my page, and let's check out what the whole thing looks like. First things first, we need to prepare for that single leg aspect of the work. So we're going to start with front foot elevated split squats and then do single leg deadlifts. We're going to go through and do 10 front foot elevated split squats on each leg and 10 single leg deadlifts. And you can go ahead and do them for 2 to 3 rounds. So for these front foot elevated split squats, you're going to want a bench, chair, even something as low as a yoga block. I wouldn't go higher than a bench or a chair though. And you're going to put one foot nice in front of the other. We want a big obtuse angle with these legs here. Now you are going to lunge forward on that front leg and come really far forward. You're going to come onto the tiptoes of the back leg. You might find that you have to readjust your posture there, and then come forward. Lunge really far forward on that front leg. You see here my calf and the back of my thigh touch. Yours might not, but this is the goal here. And I will say this surface is maybe a little high for me, so I'm able to do it pretty well. You can come off that back heel, and you might even come off the front heel as well. So we're going to go 10 times here. If you're following along with me, I'm at 5. And try to fully extend the knee when you stand up. Two more. Good. And it is also a nice stretch on that back leg. That's what everyone always tells me. I'm just going to go ahead and move my bench so it stops wobbling on me. Front foot comes forward again. We've switched legs. Again, big obtuse angle, meaning bigger than 90 degrees. Lunge forward on that front foot and stand back up. 10 times. Next round, I'll show you how to do it on a lower surface. But this high surface does prepare me for a really fun move that's coming later on. 2 more. Good. Now we're going to move on to single leg deadlifts. I'm not going to get too much into the technique of the single leg deadlift. If you want to do this whole advanced complex, I assume you're a fairly experienced exerciser, but if you do need help, check out my video on how to do single leg and other deadlifts, I believe, linked up here. So you're gonna use one kettlebell here because we are really just doing single kettlebells for today's complex. So for efficiency and just kind of stay on track, we're gonna stay with one. So you're going to replace the leg that's going to go back with a kettlebell and start in this kickstand position. Square off your shoulders, square off your hips, lift the bell. That first lift should be nice and smooth. Now your back leg's going to go up as your head comes down, keeping a long flat back, keeping the shoulders square with each other, and pick a point to gaze at. Inhale as you go down. Exhale as you come up. You're trying to keep those hips square with each other and really use that grounded glute to hinge and power yourself back up. Put a little oomph in it because that's gonna help you stand up when we do our single leg hang clean. And make sure you actually bend this knee to help send those hips back. We're going for 10 times total on each side. I think I have 4 more. Good, keep going. Last 2. I want that to get to the point where your glute is getting tired by the end. Mine was. This is a 20 kilogram, just for reference. I would pick a moderate weight for this, not your heaviest single leg deadlift weight, because I want you to get 10 reps, but something that provides a challenge. And I'm not going to take that much rest because I don't want to bore you, but do feel free to rest for a minute between sides. Single leg deadlifts are tiring. As you can tell, I'm a little out of breath, and you always want to still have some energy for your second side. So do take rest if you need it. Hinge down, grab your weight, send your hips back, ribs towards your hip bones, square off the shoulders, square off the hips. You'll notice squaring the shoulders means bringing the shoulder opposite the kettlebell down and bringing the hip on the same side as the kettlebell down. Stand up. And again, pick that point on the wall and gaze. Inhale as you go down. Exhale as you stand up. Good. 10 on each side. We're going to go ahead and get that bell out of the way to go do 10 front foot elevated split squats on each side again. Lunging forward over that front foot. The second time almost always feels easier than the first time. And remember, I'm fully extending that leg at the top. I don't want you just to stop here and go back down. A lot of people do that. Oh, I said I was going to do this on a lower surface for the second round. I'll grab something lower for the second side. Good, 10 times on each side. So you can use something as low as a yoga block. If you are using a yoga block, try one that's made of cork. If not, grab something like a low step stool. So this is for those of us with pretty strong forward lunges. And you see here, I have way further to go. I'm kind of running into the bench here. So I could potentially go a little further. It takes a lot more energy to stand up and a lot more ankle and knee mobility to get down. Still 10 times. I want you to pick the version that you can do 10 with. Because like I said, this is a full workout in addition to learning how to do something. So it's kind of cool about kettlebells. The learning part is very much exercise and can very much be your working sets. 2 more. Good. And then we will do our single leg deadlifts one more time. So now we're going to go on to that second set of single leg deadlifts. I'm going to show it from the front this time so you can see what it looks like to square everything off. Kettlebell replaces the foot that's going to go back. I come to a kickstand position, and before I go, I want to square things off. So what I mean by that, see the shoulder opposite the kettlebell, it's going up, I'm going to pull it down. That hip on the same side as the kettlebell is going up, again, I'm going to pull it down. So I can kind of do that at the same time. Big exhale, core is on. Pick up the kettlebell with a nice strong start, and now I gaze at one point. I'm going to be looking at the bottom of that tripod that you're on. Hinge down and stand up. Non-working arm can shoot out by your side. Make sure you keep tension in the non-working side of the body. Losing my balance. It happens. 3 more. I always like to put both feet down before I place the kettlebell down. I find that I put it down with more control that way, but you don't have to. Now switch sides. Leg that the kettlebell is on goes back. Shoulders are square, hips are square, big exhale. Lock it all into place before you start to move. If that first lift feels good and light, the rest will follow. Two more. Good job. Put that weight down. All right. If you are working with more than one kettlebell, you can go ahead and put that heavy one to the side and grab one that's slightly lighter. We are going to focus on the hang clean right now. So this workout assumes you already knew how to do a kettlebell clean. If you didn't, you can check out these videos, but it's a pretty advanced move. So if you don't already have a good grasp on the kettlebell, the single arm kettlebell clean, you might want to take a pause and go ahead and work on that. Or you could always do this with a goblet clean. I will show that at the end. And a goblet clean, just for reference, is when you do this, clean the kettlebell with 2 hands. So if you know how to do that, you can always do this move, this whole complex with the double-handed kettlebell clean. But assuming you know how to do that single arm clean, we're going to just be doing it from a hang position where it's not on the floor but hanging, and then we're going to do it from a single leg position, basically a single leg deadlift into a clean. So watch for a second. I'm going to show you first what it looks like with both feet down, because that's what we're going to practice first. And for reference, this is a 12 kilogram or 25 pound bell. So a normal kettlebell clean looks like this. See, it went from the floor, I unwind, it goes back to the floor. Pretty straightforward. Hang clean, same thing, but we're hanging the bell. It's not on the floor, it's hanging. This means you need to have a nice deep hinge to make up for the fact that you're not reaching as far, and you clean it up. Now, if you're familiar with kettlebell cleans, or kettlebell work, you've probably picked up a lightweight bell, not cleaned it, and then gone like this. That's a hang clean. You've done it before. It's not that complicated. So we're going to go ahead and do 10 hang cleans on each side as practice. So I'm going to show you the side view so you can really see what this hanging looks like. I want you to grab your bell, line it up with your heels. Inhale, exhale hard through the mouth. Send the ribs to the hips, turn the core on. Hips go back, grab the bell, hang it, okay? I want you to feel the tension in the back side of the body. You can feel your glutes moving around in your leggings. Inhale, exhale up. Now when we unwind, we absorb the load and catch it in a hanging position. So with me, down, didn't touch the floor. Inhale, up, And now we're gonna go up and down together. I'm gonna say up, down for 8 more. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. 3 more. Down, up, down, up. 2 more. Down, up, down, up. Good. We did a few extra. Sorry about that. Shake it out onto your second side. I'll show this one from the front. So all together, grab onto the bell, sit the hips back, core is on, square off the shoulders, lift the bell just a little bit, sit back, feel the back side of the body come alive. Inhale, exhale up, down to the hang position, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now, from this down position, when you come up, make sure you shoot your elbow back behind you and avoid clanking it onto your wrist. Up, down, up. And before you go down, I want you to start letting it fall and then let your body chase it. So let the arms start to come down now and follow the bell, absorbing the load in the hang position. 2 more. Up, down, up, down. Good job. Put that bell down. You see here, you've probably done a hang clean before, but have you done a single leg hang clean before? This is where we get spicy and where we're starting to, for the first time, pair together 2 things that you already knew how to do into one new thing that maybe you've never done before. All right, I had to lose my shirt between the oversized crop top and the cord from the mic. Something was gonna go flying. So now we're gonna combine those hang cleaning and single leg deadlift into one. And just watch and observe what looks like something you've already done, all right? Look familiar? We did a single leg deadlift or kickstand deadlift to set up for the single leg deadlift. Then we went in to the bottom of the single leg deadlift, which is a hanging kettlebell position, and then cleaned it up. And as I cleaned it up, that back leg shot forward. So eventually it's gonna keep going and land on the floor, but not yet. In the meantime, we're gonna practice 5 single leg hang cleans on each side. So what I'd like you to do is start in a kickstand position with that lighter kettlebell. You can go even lighter if you want. Replacing the leg that's back. Core is on, shoulders square. Pick up that kettlebell. Now make sure you have enough room for this. Hinge down into the bottom of a single leg deadlift with the kettlebell hanging. From here, focus your attention on the glute of the grounded leg. Inhale. As you exhale, leg comes up, kettlebell comes to the clean position. And you can either pause for a second and put that leg down, or you can go straight into another rep. 4 more. Inhale at the bottom, exhale at the top. 3 more. Keep the core tight. You might lose balance like I just did. 1 more. You can always restart. And second side. You're going to really start to feel it on the glute of the grounded leg. All right, second side here. Hinge down, start in your kickstand deadlift, stand up tall. Leg on the same side as the kettlebell goes back. We come to the hanging position. All of our attention is in the glute of the grounded leg. Inhale at the bottom, exhale as you come up. 4 more. One more. Seems I can only do 4 without falling. And relax. If you notice, like me, that 4, you fail at a certain point, Your weight might be a little light, or it might just be the first time you ever tried it. And now we are going to do it one more time just to practice that skill work a little more. With this set, I'm going to show you what to do if balance was truly a problem. You can land with both feet down, similar to how you'd land at the top of a single leg deadlift. At the top of a single leg deadlift, our leg's not usually up, it's down. So what you can do, and feel free to do this along with me, clean that bell, pick the bell up from your kickstand deadlift, come to the bottom of your single leg deadlift, and then at the top, stand. You can stamp the foot down. You can come to slightly outward toe the way you might at the top of a deadlift, and then just go back into your next rep. I find it harder to power the deadlift when the non-working leg comes to the floor, but it can be better for your balance. 5 in total. Good. You could see there I had a harder time recruiting the power from the glute when the other leg was coming down. If you felt like that, well, that's a good cue to try and lift your leg up, because you see when you go from having that leg up to up, there's momentum. It helps drive that kettlebell up. You really get that explosive power. If your leg goes from up to down, you lose some of that power sooner, and it becomes harder to ultimately clean the bell. 5 times on the other side. Pick the bell up. 5 single leg deadlifts to hang cleans. And I would recommend just tapping that leg down then if you need to, rather than having it land down, if that makes sense. See there, I was able to prevent falling over by putting the leg down, but I had the follow through from the movement by having the leg up. So now we're gonna put it together with a forward lunge to the bench. This is called a Bosch Clean. What happens here is you land at the top of the movement the way you do in the front foot elevated split squat. So watch, we go from a single leg deadlift into our clean, and you land and lunge forward. You saw there I stumbled. It's gonna take a few times to get it right. We're gonna first practice landing here, doing the whole thing without weight, 5 times on each leg, and then we'll load it. So standing a few feet from your bench or chair, you want a high surface here. We're going to take that single leg lunge, single leg deadlift. As you stand up, practice throwing your foot up here. It's going to take a few times to figure out where your leg wants to land. Maybe mime with both hands, so that way you can have some balance. And then try the other side. You saw there that got a lot better as I did it. So you can kind of figure out where you want to start by figuring out where you want to end. That's going to let me know where I want my starting position to be. Down, up. You could do this onto a firm couch, chair, bench is good. I wouldn't go much higher than this if you're in a gym and you have a box. Probably 18-inch box would be a good height. Unlike the front foot elevated split squat, a little lower is going to be easier here because it doesn't require as much hip mobility to swing that leg up. If you remember that first rep, my toes kind of got caught and I stumbled. It's a little easier if it's a tiny bit lower. All right, so let's put it all together finally. Figure out where your starting position is. So come to your lunging position on the surface, wherever that foot, the back foot wanted to be, that's where that grounded leg starts. And the leg that goes up in the deadlift is the one that lands forward, and that's the same side that your kettlebell is on. So give it a try 5 times on each side. single leg deadlift into a clean, into a front foot elevated split squat. And then come back to start. It's pretty fun. One more. If you were noticing it was hard to get enough power to get the kettlebell up while you're swinging your leg up, you can decrease the weight. It will make it a little easier. You can also come a little farther away from the bench. You just might not have enough room to swing your leg. It might be landing too soon, similar to how you can lose power if you hit the ground too soon. If you hit the bench too soon, you might lose power. I found that I was a little tight there, so I'm going to take a tiny step back. And again, 5 times on the other side. Inhale down, exhale up, into that deadlift, clean, front foot elevated split squat. Yeah, that was more power for me. And your non-working arm wants to have tension in it. Mine starts out, lands matching the one that had the kettlebell. 2 more. 1 more. Nice work, everyone. We're of course going to do that one more time because, again, brand new skill. You're not going to get it perfect on the first try. And after this, we'll try it on the floor if you're ready. If you feel like your knees can't take that much impact, don't worry. This is a super advanced, awesome exercise to do. Bosch Cleans. You can do them with dumbbells by your sides, where you'd have 2 dumbbells, flip them up, land into your lunge. You can do it with a kettlebell hang clean, a goblet hang clean. Also very fun. There's lots of ways you can modify this. Actually, with a barbell is super badass if you can do barbell hang cleans. All right, so let's go on to our final round, 5 on each side. Start far enough back so you have enough room to swing your leg, have enough momentum to drive that bell up. Big exhale, core is on before we start. Hips go back, grab the kettlebell, stand up into that single leg deadlift and go 5 at your own speed. Good. 5 on the other side. Keep everything tight. This should get you out of breath. I'm out of breath. But pay attention to what you're doing. Single leg deadlift, clean and lunge. There is a spot on the wall. I am keeping my eyes glued to. That's going to help with balance so much. Awesome. You're probably getting tired. I know I am. So this is okay to call it quits. But before that, I am going to show you how to put it all together. So go ahead, and if your bench is in your movement space the way mine is, clear it out. You're going to need a lot of room here, a lot of length, and maybe even grab a lighter kettlebell if you haven't already. Now, we are going to do the piece de resistance. We are going to do a single leg deadlift into a hang clean, into a forward lunge. We didn't exactly practice the forward lunge today, so if you do want to practice a few forward lunges, go ahead and do that right now. That is when you go forward and you absorb the load as you go down. But we have been practicing shock absorption on an elevated surface, So it shouldn't be too weird for you. So that front leg takes a big step forward and we go down. The major thing you need to watch out for in a forward lunge is that the knee that's in back doesn't come crashing down. Mine did make a little bit of a crashing sound on one of those reps. So have a padded mat below you, or even put a pad below the knee that you know is gonna potentially come down, especially if you have sensitive knees. And if you do have knee problems like tendonitis or a strain or a tear, I wouldn't recommend this super aggressive forward lunge. Stick to the elevated surface. It's super badass. But if you are with me to try the most advanced version that we can do with one bell, is you can do it with two bells too. We are going to start. So watch first and then we'll do it together. All right, so you saw there, it's actually pretty fluid. When you load that leg that's swinging forward by having the kettlebell in the clean position, you give that leg a lot of momentum and it needs some place to go. So this crashing down is a lot more like shock absorption than a crash. So all I want you to do is remember the momentum that you needed to swing the leg forward and then bring it down in front of you and try not to crash. Let's go for 5 on each side. Bottom of the deadlift. Inhale at the bottom, exhale, clean it up. And as you clean, you need to bring that leg forward. All right, try it again. Non-working arm is out beside you. Inhale at the bottom, exhale. Good. If you need to think about it, think at the bottom when you're hanging. As soon as you come up, your leg keeps going and you don't stop until you land. 3 more. Good, other side. And now as we go through the full version of the movement and you're a little tired, you're gonna notice the difference side to side. Like personally, doing it with the left foot flying seems to be better than the right. And that's okay, one side is always different than the other. So 5 more on the other side to finish this off. Inhale, pick it up. Exhale, stand up. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale. Absorb the load as you fly forward. Unwind. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale as you come up. Step back and unwind. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Pick that point on the wall to stare at. And relax. Great work. That was a lot to take in. In another video, I will teach you how to do the Viking Salute into the swing and put it all together. But in the meantime, you got to practice this one before you can move on. So look at the notes. I wrote out the whole program below, so you don't have to rewatch this whole thing and do it with me, but you're welcome to, and I can't wait to see you later. Again, make sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Instagram at Emma Bonoli. Have a great day.